What's up, political vigilantes? You are helping make Gotham great again. You know who's not helping make Gotham great again?
Because wealthy people are just as patriotic as poor people. Wealthy people are just as ready to pitch in as poor folks.
And I should know because I am wealthy and I was put in office 4 decades ago by wealthy people in Delaware, which is a state that is run by the financial institutions. I should know what I'm talking about. That's Joe Biden. That's Joe Biden. That's Joey B. Banky bides. Joey Biden. Joey hair-sniffing middle ground climate change plan. Bidaloo. Your hair smells great. Are you wealthy? The rich are very patriotic because they have hijacked this entire country over a 4 decades long corporate coup. And what they've done is help create this. The richest 10% of households now represent 70% of all U.S. wealth. I'd be pretty patriotic. I'd be like, America's the greatest country ever. Because I just stepped on the neck and the backs of the 99%. I own everything. And I put morons like Joe Biden in office and I let them become president because Citibank picked Obama's cabinet, so you better believe they said, this is who your VP should be. This is who your VP candidate should be. And they just played, the corporate media plays along with the Joe Biden will be good for the working class. He'll be good for the white guy vote. No, he's good for banks, you morons. He's good for filthy, disgusting banks. If I were president, I would be like a progressive mob boss. I would round up, the way Cheney, and all these presidents just go around, they use executive privilege, so the Constitution doesn't apply to them because anything the president does is technically constitutional, right? So they found that loophole. They can just bomb and surveil people and jail whistleblowers and do whatever they want. The law doesn't apply to them. That's what I would do. I'd be like the head of Goldman Sachs. I would arrest that, and he's a maggot, and I would put him in an orange jumpsuit, and I'd perp walk him. Just perp walk him. Lock him up. That's what I would do. Citibank, Steve Mnuchin, that guy, I would lock him up. And chain gang, walking slowly, just like the degenerate criminal that they are. The head of Boeing, the head of Raytheon, all those maggots. I would round them up and lock them up and I'd put them behind bars. And anyone who's in jail for marijuana, they would go free. And I would literally say, I'm making room for all of the corporate criminals that are going to go behind bars. Any of the war criminals, the Bushes, the Obamas, the Clintons, maggot-ridden Biden, that's what I would say. I would lock them up. If I was the president, I would just be like a progressive gangster. I'd get them all in the room, all the warmongering generals and everybody. And go, oh, it'll be a hard time, man. You're going to have a hard time bailing out the banks. If you fell down a flight of stairs, that's how I would just be like just a mean gangster. But a progressive one. No. Everybody gets Medicare for all. Everybody. No. I'm cutting your paycheck in half and you're giving it to your staff. That's what I would do. I would just like, nah. That's what I would do. Just walk up. Hey, rich guy. I'm locking you up. I'm freezing your assets, Steve Mnuchin, and I'm taking all your assets and I'm buying. I would take the CEOs of all the major banks that helped create the financial crisis. I would put them all in jail, freeze all of their assets, and take all of that money and buy homes. Everyone, all of the 5.2 million people that lost, families that lost their homes, they would all buy homes, comparable homes. And that was the value of the house that they lost in a neighborhood of their choosing. Or I'd give them the cash equivalent. And I'd say, these guys are paying for it. That's what I would do. Well, I'd just make a RICO Act. RICO Act. They're terrorists. The Koch brothers, lock them up. Trans-Pacific Pipeline partner, ExxonMobil, done. Rex Tillerson, I'm putting you in jail. Here's something more offensive. the distribution of aggregate household wealth. The top 1% has this much. The next 40%. This group has 40%. 9. Look at this. The bottom has 50% of the population has this much wealth. 40% of the population has this much wealth. 9% of the population has here, and this is the top 1%. So 10% of the population has 70%. The study finds that the share of wealth among the richest 1% increased. It keeps going up. That's why they're so patriotic, Joe Biden. I will never vote for Joe Biden. If they you better have a real fair primary, Democratic Party. I will scream from the mountaintops not to vote for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. No way. No way. You stole my home. You let the bank steal my home. Both parties, but mainly Obama. And you, Biden, you filthy pimp. You hair plug, hair sniffing, creep, degenerate. You let them steal my home. So I will not vote for you under any circumstances. And pledging your vote to the corrupt Democratic Party 18 months before the general is the dumbest thing anyone could possibly do. So Democratic Party, anything I can do to Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I would absolutely throw her in prison. Perp walker. And all of Trump's maggots, I would put all of Trump's maggot-ridden, degenerate parasites, I'd throw all them in prison too. They all deserve to go in prison. Yeah. They're just, any of the ruling class, just about, they would be locked up and perp walk them, make them look dirty, filthy criminals. Maybe just tattoo corporate criminal across their filthy foreheads. The share of assets held by the top 10% of the wealth distribution rose from 55 to 64% since 1989, with asset shares increasing the most for the top 1% of the households. 55 to 64%. So you know what that means? It means the bottom 90%, the bottom half, homeownership has declined. Homeownership rate of 64.2% was virtually unchanged from the rate of the first quarter, but lower than the rate. Quarterly homeownership rates and seasonally adjusted homeownership rates. Look at how many people owned homes. The beginning part of the 2000s. Look at the upward. That's America, the land of opportunity. Recession hits, it's been down. It's uptick a little in the last 3 years, but look at this. It hasn't been this bad in 20 years. That used to be the thing. That was the thing about America. That was the American dream, right? You could own a home. You could own your own property. And that was the single best, most effective way to get upward mobility. You work hard. You either go to college or something. You get a decent job. Maybe it's a union job or a good white-collar job. You make some money. You buy a home, a nice little starter home. It appreciates in value. You sell it, move into a better home, bigger home, and a bigger neighborhood. That's how Americans, this is the American dream. This is the death of the American dream. So right here in 99, this is when Clinton repealed Glass-Steagall. Glass-Steagall was FDR era, Depression era banking regulation. Bill Clinton, at the end of his second term, amidst all the Monica Lewinsky, we're talking about blowjobs and cum-stained dresses and this, that, and the other thing, let's take away Glass-Steagall. So we got rid of the banking regulation. The banks could do whatever they want. Boom. I bought my house the beginning of 2000. End of 2003, right around that December 2003, I sold my first house and bought my second house by the beach in appreciated value. Bought a house for $200 grand. It appreciated, went from $200,000 to $380,000. So then I moved into a condo in a better neighborhood for $550,000, but it was undervalued. It was a $625,000 condo, but it was undervalued. And so I got a deal. It's great. it appreciates. That home now would be 1.5 million, but no one can afford to buy a home. Only the 1% can buy a home. But yeah, Joe Biden, the rich are patriotic. They're so, so patriotic. Thanks for watching, everybody. Progressive Comedy Tour. We're on the East Coast, June 12th through the 19th. DC, Baltimore, 2 nights in Philly, New Haven, Connecticut, New York City, and Boston. And then, of course, in July, we're going to Las Vegas, July 27th. Tour dates are at grahamelwood.com. Like, subscribe, share the videos. Positive comments help. Share it on your social media. Watch the ads all the way through. I don't get paid if you click skip ad. Also, you can go to patreon.com to support the show. You get bonus content for as little as $5 a month. And you're supporting independent media like this that won't, I don't think they're putting this graph on Rachel Maddow when they're talking, or CNN when they're smearing Bernie and Tulsi and they're talking about how great Joe Biden is. Because you want to know why they think Joe Biden is so great? You want to know why they think Joe Biden is so great? Because he speaks for...
Because wealthy people are just as patriotic as poor people. Wealthy people are just as ready to pitch in as poor folks.
By pitch in how, Joe? By not paying taxes? By telling me I need to pull myself up by my bootstraps because you let banks fucking steal my home? Thanks to legislation he helped pass in 2005, bankruptcies stay on your report. They used to be 7 years, now they're 10. So my bankruptcy won't come off my credit report till December of this year. December of 2009 is when I had to file bankruptcy. You know, right after the recession. Joe's a maggot. Never forget, Joe's a maggot. Thanks for watching the show.